Welcome to Adam Does Movies Live. Holy crap. I was actually ready and prepared to go to start the show. And then my daughter, in her infinite wisdom, starts the vacuum in her room. It's loud as crap. It's pulling all the audio into this ambient area. It was bad. I go upstairs. I gently tell her to shut the hell up. And my son is on his bed, picking at his feet that apparently he had ripped open for who the hell knows why. And he asked me for another giant Band-Aid. My wife's in the room streaming 3 different things at the same time. So yeah, it's just business as usual over at the Olinger household. Hope you guys are having a good night. It's frantic over here. Frantic. Got a super chat right out of the gates. Shot out of a cannon, Shadow Humor for $5. We need Lamb the musical, he states. Yeah, I'm not sure we do, Shadow Humor, but I appreciate the call back. Always love a good A24 Lamb reference. That was my nightmare. This is gonna be a chill stream tonight. Some of you might wonder what day it is. Is this Monday? I'm confused. Usually Adam goes live on Tuesdays. Well, yeah, we're doing a little bit extra around the holidays. And also, I found myself having a ball filming last week's live on Tuesday because I covered 3 or 4 movie topics. I actually recorded them live and then I edited them as individual videos. And they did very well on the channel, so I'm happy to try it again tonight. So this is what we call a live taping. I have 3 topics, 2 of which I'll probably turn into 8 to 12 minute videos separately from this live. And you get to watch me possibly screw up a little bit along the way, take a look at some of the information, pause once in a while. But yeah, it should hopefully be somewhat seamless and easy, because last time I did it, I really kind of flew through it pretty well, which is rare. When I film this without the audience, it's a shit show. I have edits all the time. Okay, I think we're good. Let me know if there's any audio issues or video streaming issues. Usually I like to be hardwired in to the internet, but today I'm Wi-Fi only. It's risky, I know, but that's where we're at. Okay, I'm going to bring up the first topic. We're going to get to it. Bing! Little thumbnail down there. You won't see that in the real video because, like I said, it's recording on two different apparatuses. Apparati? Not sure if either of those are correct. Let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, for some time now, years as a matter of fact, I've been a little upset with the theater movie-going experience. In fact, I did a rant on it not too many months back, complaining up a storm about rude people in the theater while I plunk down my hard-earned cash just to have a nice couple hours out. It's impossible almost nowadays. I will say there's been a good run for me. I've seen less of it, but I've also seen less people in the theater in general. So maybe that's just me finding the right small amount pocket windows of time to go. But Dwayne Johnson has decided in his infinite wisdom to stomp all over my good time. He decided to throw another wrench into the system by piggybacking off of a trend that's been taking place during Wicked showings, which is to let people let loose and sing to the top of their lungs, record video, take photos while I'm sitting here just trying to watch the fucking movie. Let's talk about it. It was already bad enough, friends, to go to a movie, sit through a full 30 minutes of trailers, because that's what my Regal experience brings to the table. I used to like trailers. It used to be a fun time. Now it's miserable. Now I pace outside of the theater in the hallways, like muttering and like an old man yelling at a kid to get the ball out of his yard. I've already seen that trailer. Nosferatu, I'm going to be there. Looks great. I don't want to watch the trailer for the 50th time. I used to like going to movies. I used to like things in general. What the hell happened? People happen, that's what. Eventually, I will make my way back into the theater, sit down, and hope for the best. But there is a percentage of me now. There's a part of my brain that's scanning the area like RoboCop. Scanning for douchebags. Scanning for douchebags. And I automatically lock in on a couple that are already on their phones during the trailers. And I'm going to keep my eye on them. Not sacrilegious to be on your phone, I guess, during the trailers, because I'm not there for them. But I will, I'll jump in for the last couple. And I'll see people. I'll keep my eye on them. I'll be like, all right, this person already has a low attention span. It's going to be tricky. And what's that brightness level at? Where are we at right now with things? Is it at a 50%? Is it a 10%? How much of a rude douchebag is this guy going to be? Well, what's been happening now with the trend with Wicked is it's a musical, if you didn't know. For the one of you that doesn't know this, it's a musical. There's lots of singing, lots of pageantry, lots of dancing. And everybody in the theater apparently decided that they want to be part of the magic. This isn't a Taylor Swift concert, friends. And I don't blame Taylor. I would never blame Taylor for anything, because there has been movie concert experiences prior to her. Richard prior to her. We had that Hannah Montana experience. There was a Jonas Brothers experience. There was a Justin Timberlake, I think. I might be making that last one up, but they've been around. Actually, Beyonce had one, I believe, not long after Taylor did. But the Swifties came out in full force, and that made sense. It was the Eras Tour concert. You charged a premium. Theaters were charging like $25 a seat for that thing. It was not even considered a movie. It was known as a concert event. Wicked is not. Wicked's a movie featuring some very talented lead actresses who can sing very well. And the last thing I want to fucking hear is a 35-year-old, overweight, terrible voice. I guess the fat shaming is unnecessary. The voice is all that matters. There's lots of heavy, beautiful women that have powerful lungs, and men as well. But no, terrible singer. I don't want to hear her. I don't want to hear Patty belting at the top of their lungs. I don't want to hear Trish singing her to her heart's content. I don't want to listen to Timothy belting one from the back row. I want to hear my pop princess. I want to hear Ariana Grande with her grande voice tell me what's happening in the film. I understand it's a Broadway thing, but I don't think I've been to a Broadway musical in my life. Maybe it's different now, but I'm pretty sure even when you go to those, you're supposed to be silent. You're supposed to let them do the singing and the acting. And regardless, that's not how movies work. Dwayne "The Rock" stupid Johnson, who came out and said, let people sing. They paid hard-earned money to do this. That's his quote. From a man who probably has never really set foot in a normal movie theater ever, or at least not for the last like 45 years of his life. How this works, Dwayne, is you do spend your hard-earned money to go watch talented people do things, not to listen to some yahoos, some hee-haws a couple rows back singing Popular. All right, if I want to listen to a bunch of idiots sing Popular, I'll fire up TikTok. That's not complicated. It's not complicated. And again, I think Ariana Grande made $10 million for this film. I'm pretty sure I want to listen to the high-paid actress sing and not the person flipping burgers at McDonald's. Not to discredit their job. It's miserable. It's probably harder work than what she's doing. I worked at fast food. I was a Subway sandwich artist, an artisan, as we like to refer to ourselves. So you want a cold cut? I'll whip you up a cold cut. You want a meatball foot long? You better believe I can do that. And this was back in the day when they had the U-gouge sub, where we cut a U and we popped the top. And those meatballs nestled right in like baby birds. And then you covered them back up in case a storm is coming. It was beautiful, but I digress. Enough of the Subway. We can talk Subway all day. All right, we can talk meats and cheeses till the cows come home. But I want to talk about movie etiquette, and it's getting worse, not better. So when celebrities come out and they openly endorse bad behavior, we have an issue in this country. We have an issue. The Rock. But I'm a man of solutions, not just problems. And so what I think needs to happen is we need a full-throated force to come out against singing in the movies, unless it's a concert experience where it's encouraged by the actor, or not even the actress, when it's encouraged by the musician ahead of time, like, hey, I want you to treat this movie like a concert. We're going to charge a premium price. Get out your phones and light up the sky and do all this obnoxious stuff, and you'll all be there together doing it. Kumbaya shit. But not for regular movies, all right? I don't want to go to a La La Land and be drowned out from hearing Emma Stone perform. I don't imagine going to Greece back in the day and not hearing John Travolta dancing on top of a car. It's Grease Lightning. Come on. It's ridiculous. Where does the line get drawn? Because I fancy myself pretty good at doing some sound effects and fake fighting. But I'm not going to be able to do that. And I shouldn't be able to do that when I go to John Wick 45. Oh, I love kind of like playing along. Me and my brother used to play fight all the time. I should be able to do that in John Wick. No, you shouldn't, you stupid asshole. You should sit down and let the character take you away into their world. Let the actor wow you with their performance. It's not all about you. And that's what it comes out as. It comes out as selfish. You are not the main character when you go to the movies. You're not even an NPC. You're not even an NPC. You are a witness. You are not even a player of the game. You are sitting idly by watching a Let's Play. So let's all play together, I guess, is the bottom line. It's really all the lines at the end of the day. Lines that you should not be able to sing. Do I have anything else to add outside of the people cheeping constantly during the movie, talking loudly at this point? Oh, we're at Gladiator 2. Cool. The last one came out 24 years ago, so you better believe every asshole is in this movie theater explaining to their significant other what happened 25 years ago to Maximus. Oh, so this character, yeah, this person was in the original. I'm talking at this level during the movie because normally I'm at home watching movies and I can talk like this. Oh, I sing along with, you know, I actually, it was brought up to me by my wife. She had a good point. It's, it's a rarity, but it happens once in a while. Shout out to the wife for this one. She said, Adam, even if we were at home watching the movie, I wouldn't want some idiot friend over singing loudly to some of the songs, unless maybe we've seen it like 5 or 6 times and we're all just kind of having fun together, but that would still be miserable. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I agree. I agree. So Dwayne Johnson, maybe focus on making the same movie you make every single time. Get paid your 20 to 30 to $50 million a pop, which is sad to believe, but it's true. And just keep quiet about what us normal loser peasants have to put up with at the theater, because you don't know. At the end of the day, you get to go to your red carpet premiere. You get your own private booth, probably. You get a bunch of people are celebrating you, and they're going to be quiet and they're going to be respectful. And maybe at the end, they'll give you a standing ovation. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to keep myself from throwing an entire bucket of popcorn at 4 people up front who can't shut the fuck up. I am holding back the rage to pull the straw out of my soda and ice pick someone to death. And I got so upset thinking about it, I almost fell forward on my face. And maybe I should just end this this great experiment that we call life and a social construct, because it's getting miserable out there in the theaters. Stay strong, though, fellow moviegoers. Stay the course. And as for solutions, which I teased earlier but gave none because I really am talking out of my ass at this point, we just can't let them win. And we've been saying this for years. Don't let the phone people win. Don't let the talkers that are loudly ruining the experience get away with it. Hold the line. It's just you and I out there at this point. We need to be true to our movie-loving experiences, though, and not give in. Otherwise, what is happening anymore? These theaters will die. They will crumble because of the assholes, and we can't let it happen. I won't let it happen. All right, thank you for watching the video. Please think about subscribing to the channel if you like the commentary. I do tons of movie reviews every week, live streams, rants, things of that nature. It's all movie related all the time, baby. Sorry for calling you baby. Please think about liking the video, hitting the notification bell, and becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. There are so many offerings there and different tiers. So you could just do $1 a month. It's easy breezy, beautiful. It's CoverGirl. And you get access to a vault of 300 exclusive videos and counting. If you go higher in the tiers, there's exclusive videos every month of the cringe, of vlogs, of movie reviews. I provide a lot of content, and I'm only asking for a few bucks in return a month to help keep the lights on here. And I would appreciate it. All right. Hopefully I see you next time. And that's how we do it, folks. That's the first video done. I think it worked out okay. Not a lot of editing for this one. Is that Tony? We got a couple super chats in between. Let's bust them out. Let's pop them up. Jordan Yeager for $2. Thank you, Jordan. Adam reminds me of Jim Carrey. Oh, righty then. You guys remember Fire Marshal Bill? I used to be able to do Fire Marshal Bill. You have to kind of get the teeth going. Let me show you something. It was always a creepy performance that he did, but yeah, I love Jim Carrey. He's great. Jordan for $2 more. Required decorum when you attend a film in theaters. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jordan. Required, I guess, just human decency, right? Just the bare minimum. Don't talk. Keep your hands down. Keep your phones in your pocket. Save them for later. Easy. It's not that difficult. A gorgeous $10. A gorgeous $10 super chat. I'm not familiar with this channel. Hack the Movies, I think it is. I'm not familiar with this channel. I always sing in movies. The problem is I'm singing songs that I like that have nothing to do with the movie that's being screened. I'm glad The Rock has my back. Thanks, Tony. I always appreciate it. Tony was just on the live. Well, I was actually on his live stream the other night. We were talking about Gladiator 2 in a spoiler video, and I'm going to have my own spoiler video of Gladiator 2. I might film it after the live stream because I know I'm going to need some I'm gonna need to do some research on some of the events and characters a little bit further. That's just not worth doing in front of you people. I'm gonna save you the headache. Tony, thank you very much. Heck, the movies is awesome. And that would be hilarious if you were singing some random shit during Wicked that had nothing to do with the song. I can get behind. All right, we got the next topic. Let's fire it up. And in between, feel free to keep sending super chats. I will read them after each topic. I really like it. I appreciate it. Let's go to number 2. Top 10 box office. Oh, this is a doozy. This is going to make for a fun video, I think. Take a drink of water quick. Okay. I think I have the documentation up. Yeah. Does this have that other thing? There's something else apart of this that I thought was really fun. Yeah, it does. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Am I recording the audio? Yeah, I am. I warned you. I've been saying it for years. I've been warning people for years. Put out the siren song. I was like the lighthouse in the distance. I don't know what lighthouses sound like. I apologize. But I've been warning people that movies that have been coming out in the last couple years are getting awfully familiar, awfully samey. It's almost like Hollywood has become so scared to put out anything original. The only bet they take these days is to keep releasing the same shit. And that is why in the top 10 highest grossing box office of 2024 so far, it's all movie sequels. Yay! Thanks, Disney, for setting the standard. Thank you. That's my sarcastic clapping. This is bullshit. Let's talk about all these lovely films that have come out and reached the top of the market in 2024. We get a title card comes up, and then we got it. As I'm talking about these top 10 movies, if you wouldn't mind subscribing and hitting the notification bell, if this in fact becomes something you find yourself enjoying, just keep it in the back of your mind. Just what did you want me to do? Oh yeah, just subscribe. It's free. Jessica, it's free still. Thanks, Jess. I call her Jess sometimes. We have a good rapport. I fired Sheila a week ago, so she's the new intern. Don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. Oh, anyway, in the number 10 spot, and keep in mind, 2024 is not over as of recording this. It's possible that some of these will shift a little bit, but I don't think anything on this list is going to fall off entirely. And if it does, it's just going to be replaced by another sequel. Because in the last few years, I've noticed Hollywood ratcheting up the sequel, the prequel, the sidequel, the fuckquel, the spin-off. It's getting ridiculous. The Legacy sequel, which is kind of its own thing. We just had Gladiator 2. They're kind of soft reboots where they pretend to be sequels, but they're really just telling the same story again because it's familiar and it makes people feel happy. Well, I'm not happy. I'm not happy, and we're going to get to why. But here, let's break down the top 10. In the number 10 spot, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before? Oh, yeah, it was the Planet of the Apes. And Return to the Planet of the Apes. And Escape from the Planet of the Apes. And Planet of the Apes by Tim Burton. And then Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And like a billion other Planet of the Apes movies that have come and gone over the years, we have another one. This is technically the fourth in the last trilogy that came out by Fox. That's now owned by Disney because Disney owns everything. And life is fleeting and this is what I'm doing with my time here on planet Earth. They own everything. And they've decided that everything they're going to make is going to be a sequel or something familiar that makes us feel all warm and gooey inside. Because we have now sculpted and shaped nostalgia to be all that we know and love. And the way to bring in new generations is to trick them into thinking something is fun and new, when in fact it's just a legacy sequel, like Beetlejuice, Gladiator 2, Top Gun Maverick, which is great, but still. What are we doing? What are we doing anymore? So yes, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in 10. We have Bad Boys Ride or Die, which is the 4th Bad Boys film. In the number 8 spot, we have Venom, The Last Dance, which is still making money. It's hitting that $500 million mark soon. It might be over it by the time I'm finished saying the sentence. People love these shitty Venom movies. Who can blame them? Me, I can blame them. They're bad. We should want better. In the number 7 spot, Beetlejuice, I mentioned it. Here we are. In the number 6, Kung Fu Panda 4. I like the Kung Fu Panda movies. Kung Fu Panda 4 is genuinely terrible. It's a bad movie. The story sucks. The animation feels uninspired. It's fine. It still looks pretty. It's 2024 after all. But yeah, it's a bad movie, and it's ranked as number 6 for the year. In the number 5 spot, Godzilla X Kong. X gonna give it to you. He's gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. And they're gonna keep giving it to you because they keep making money. It's dumb and fun and loud. People love it. We eat it up. Nom, 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 nom. Dune Part 2 in the number 4 spot. Not only is it a sequel, it's also a sequel to a movie that was already a remake of another movie, based on a book series, of course. In the number 3 spot, we have Despicable Me 4. Remember what I said about Kung Fu Panda 4? You can just reuse all of that again for Despicable Me 4. In the number 2 spot, Deadpool and Wolverine. The 3rd Deadpool movie, the 850th Hugh Jackman Wolverine film. In the number 1 spot, it's Inside Out 2. Now, I already know a couple movies that are probably going to knock a few down. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, that's bye-bye. That's not going to stay on this list. Because Wicked will take its place. Wicked, based on a Broadway musical, based on a book, based on The Wizard of Oz. I guess we could call this one fair game. This might take the top 10 out of only sequel territory. Keep in mind, this is the first time in history that all of the top 10 highest grossing movies have been sequels, prequels, things of that nature. So Wicked, I suppose we could count as an original film that's not, a sequel to anything, but it kind of is. And then the other one is Moana 2. Moana 2 is going to be on this list. It'll probably be in the top 3. It might make more than Inside Out 2. People eat that crap up, and I eat it up too. I like Moana. Who doesn't? But this is a sad list. It's truly kind of despicable me that we are at this point in our movie history, where big budgets, where all of the studios have now decided that all they can do to really get audiences to the theater, this is a fault they have to lay on themselves, by the way, is to make samey formulaic crap. Now, this is a fun article that I'm looking at because it actually lists off another year and another set of top 10s. That year was 1993. Let's take a listen to the movies that came out there. I imagine it's a lot of sequels and prequels, right? And sidequels and fuckquels. Well, for starters, we have Jurassic Park. No, not Jurassic World. Not Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Not Jurassic World Fallen Franchise. Not Jurassic World Domino's Pizza. No, this is just the original Jurassic Park by Steven Spielberg. Also happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time. Original. Different. Blew people away with the special effects and tech on display. Absolutely ingenious what they did with the CG and the practical effects and the marriage of the two, the blending of the two. And if you watch that movie today, sure, there's going to be cracks in the corners, But overall, it still looks pretty damn good because of how they utilized shadow, how they played with sound design, how these actors worked within the environments that were practical sets. Let's move on. Mrs. Doubtfire. Not Mrs. Doubtfire 2. Not a gender swap from a Mr. Doubtfire. No, this is just a one and done situation with Robin Williams dressing up as a lovely old nanny who's going to try to get close with his kids that he failed to be close with originally. It's a heartwarming film. It's a touchstone film. Most have seen it. Most should. All should. What do we got next? The Fugitive. I Didn't Kill My Wife. Harrison Ford. Another fully unique thriller. And it got you on the edge of your seat. When he's jumping off the side of that fucking dam into the water, holy crap, my heart was racing. Probably not as fast as his was. Or Tommy Lee Jones, who's trying to track down this guy. Great film. They did make a sequel to it called U.S. Marshals years later with Wesley Snipes. Not quite as good. But just the fact they didn't even call it The Fugitive 2 shows where the mindset was then. It wasn't about making sequels. It was just about making good movies. Obviously, the goal is always to make money, but back then it felt a little less formulaic, a little less manufactured. And listen, I'm not discrediting the people that work on these new modern movies. There's always going to be passion behind the scenes. There's always going to be blood, sweat, and tears poured into every production. There's tons of animators, lots of actors, writers, the directors. They're all putting the work in. It's just the movies that are getting greenlit are doing so not because they're wholly original, pushing boundaries, telling new stories, but because it's all about generating the bottom line money machine. And that's the sad reality that pisses a lot of people off like myself. And the thing is, I like sequels. And I don't really have a big problem with these legacy sequels. I mean, I think they're all kind of garbage. But I will still go and at least try to be entertained by them. But that doesn't mean it's what I want. It's just what we're given. Sleepless Seattle. Nice little rom-com. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. Indecent Proposal. Wholly original. In the Line of Fire. Wholly original. The Pelican Brief. Another thriller. I believe this one's based on a book. Pretty sure it's based on a book. Schindler's List. Based on true events. Steven Spielberg. Black and white film. I believe it's over 3 hours long. Another piece of brilliant filmmaking. Came out the same year as Jurassic Park, the other Steven Spielberg film. This guy was a legend. And I hate to end on a cliffhanger, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. Sylvester Stallone style. Cliffhanger. Up in the mountains, against the elements. John Lithgow's the villain. I believe. I'll check that after this. Make sure, but I think it's John Lithgow. Stallone absolutely hamming it up. We got to get up this mountain. There's always a chance. That's from Daylight, actually. But I like Daylight as well when they're trapped under the ground. There's always a chance. He just says that over and over again. It's sweet. My favorite part of Daylight is when he has this little glow stick, one of those little ones that you shake to turn on, and he's like, and he seriously makes this loud grunt like he's doing the most amazing thing ever, picking up Thor's hammer for the first time. You follow me out this way. There's always a chance. Side tangent aside, what a list. What an absolutely banger of a list. It just makes today's movies, the top 10, look embarrassing. The number one on that is Inside Out 2, a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Not near as good as the first, but still a well-made, competent movie. But it also didn't need to exist. Deadpool and Wolverine, fun as hell, good time, makes sense, I suppose. Did we need it? Yeah, I think we did. Because I wanted to see these two together on screen. So, fan service at its finest. Beetlejuice. Serviceable, legacy sequel, a requel, whatever you want to call it. Does it need to happen? Does it need to be here? No. I had fun with it, though. Good time at the movies. It's sad, though, that these are in the top 10. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty sad that this is the top 10 we're dealing with. Kung Fu Panda 4, are you out of your fucking mind? Come on. Come on, people. Your kids don't need to go to the movies when they're 4 years old just to be entertained. They have tablets at home. You don't need to take them to Despicable Me 4. It's going to be out on Peacock in 2 weeks anyways. You can check it out on the cock. I'm looking at another year on here. What is this, 2000? At the start of the new century in 2000, we have one sequel, Mission Impossible 2. We got X-Men, the original. We got Castaway, the OG Gladiator. Meet the Parents, The Perfect Storm, What Women Want, Dinosaur, What Lies Beneath, and Scary Movie. All of those, almost all of those, are originals. Scary Movie is a parody off of Scream. You have Dinosaur, which was this really aggressive, state-of-the-art attempt by Disney to do a 3D CGI film. It's okay. It's not terrible. It kind of had a poor man's Land Before Time feel to it. Land Before Time, far superior, of course. I believe that's produced by Steven Spielberg. He's a legend. The guy's a legend. Meet the Parents, a funny, raunchy comedy with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. Absolutely hilarious film, which would span a couple terrible sequels. And then X-Men, one of the original big new superhero movies to really set the standard. Only I'm trying to think. Only superseded by Blade. And then to follow, we get Spider-Man. So we have this beautiful trinity of superhero movies that's going to lead us into the future, where there are big budget superhero flicks being made, but not made in a gross corporate way yet, like later MCU would be, or the DCEU in general. No, these were movies that did feel standalone and felt contained. And I respected them for it. But here we are today with 10, 11, 12 Fast and the Furious movies, if you count the spin-offs and the fact that they have more in production. Another 8 or 9 Mission Impossible films, a million, Pixar movies getting sequels and live action interpretations of Disney movies that were classics. It just feels so sad now. And that's not saying we're not getting new shit. There is plenty of new stuff coming out every year. It's just not getting the push from the studios. It's not getting priority feature. A24 is great at this. That's why they're constantly being heralded as one of the good studios working out there today, because they are championing indie films. They're repackaging them. They're giving them the spotlight. And whether or not it works, I'm here to let you know that, whether or not a movie works from A24. But damn, I have a fun time going to them. On a level that's much greater than going to something like a Beetlejuice, where I'm already going in with the mindset of exactly what I'm going to see in this film. There are zero surprises, there are zero stakes, and the playbook is so formulaic. The same with a Moana 2, a Despicable Me 4, even Inside Out 2. You know the playbook. You know where they're going to hit you. They're going to pull at the heartstrings. They're going to play the sad music, and it's all going to feel familiar. Not bad, not knocking them to an extent that means I'm pissed. I actually enjoy most of the movies I see in this realm, but it's not the same as experiencing a brand new original film for the first time. There is nothing more magical than seeing a state-of-the-art Matrix come out, or seeing this huge, larger-than-life Close Encounters of the Third Kind on the big screen, or Independence Day, for that matter, listening to that president's speech, watching that UFO get taken down. It doesn't matter if it's a little schlocky. It's fresh, it's original, it's exciting, and that's what I want more of in the future. But I fear, because of what I'm looking at on this list, we're going to see more and more and more of the Frozen 3s, the Moana 3s, the live action crap. There is a new trailer for Lilo and Stitch, which I'm going to talk about in a second. It's never going to end. It's too bad. But yeah, that's where we're at. I want to hear from you, though. This was a longer rant than I expected it to be, but I think it was one that's well deserved because of all the shit I've been watching in the last few years. Please let me know. Like the video and subscribe if you want to. Hit that bell so these videos show up in your feed. If you really want to support the channel and this one-man band, become a Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Different tier levels with different offerings, 300 exclusive videos and counting every month. If you're at the higher level, you get a vlog, some people call it, most people call it that. That's very custom tailored. It features my family. It's very polished. I put a lot of work into them. There's one coming up just around the river bend, Pocahontas. I'm surprised they haven't sequeled that shit or made live action. I should keep my mouth shut. It's probably coming now. But yeah, these are very well-made things. There's an episode of The Cringe every month at the $5 membership. Just check it out. Patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. I would appreciate it. And hopefully I see you next time. All right. 2 in the tank. Let's see if we have any super chats. I've probably been kicked off the stream for 35 minutes and didn't realize it because I've been in my zone. We do have a couple more super chats. I appreciate it. James D gifted 1 Adam Does Movies membership. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. We have Jordan Yeager back again for $5. Did I miss one from Jordan, or why are we starting like this? Don't know. Different, he says. ... Could Dante's Inferno make for an awesome live-action film or series? Series, I say HBO Max. Thoughts on a studio for film? The miniseries stuff on Max specifically has been a lot better than most things. Now, the movies, Salem's Lot, for instance, on Max, I thought was terrible. But I do think the miniseries stuff has been very solid. I'm still not done with The Penguin, but I'm really enjoying that. It's very well polished. The writing is top tier. I'm liking it. I'm also watching The Bear right now, which has nothing to do with anything. I just really am enjoying that show. I would give that one a chance if you haven't. I'm on season 3 of The Bear. Really good. I don't have like specific thoughts on Dante's Inferno, but I do think a series would be interesting. Because at least with these miniseries or I guess full season shows, it's different than the movie. You're fleshing out characters, you're telling a longer story, you're going to have more subplots. It's just different. And that's mostly what I'm here for is something that at least is trying something new and attempting a new way to present the media. All right. Thank you, Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry. He said thought on a studio for film. I don't know if you mean like the 2 scripts that I'm working on. Honestly, there's just so much going on right now that they've sadly kind of taken the back seat. You might not even be asking about my scripts, but I haven't had a single second of free time to look at it. I have some stuff in the hopper, in the Dennis hopper, as far as this channel and maybe possibly potentially a pretty solid sponsor moving forward for the next year. I'm just kind of waiting to finalize things and see how that works out. Now, unfortunately, that might mean some annoying ads on videos. I apologize, but I will make sure, I will promise you this, they will be very good. They will be good ads. And I approve all of them ahead of time, and I will make them very unique and engaging. And of course, you can always just skip ahead on them. You just skip ahead. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. I need to focus on just like bringing in a bunch of income for the family because we are going to be moving in like 6 or 7 months, which is a ways out, but you got to save up for that shit. Just moving across the country is probably going to be like 8 to 10 grand. So yeah, the pie in the sky aspirations of getting a movie made are they're there. They're definitely there, but I have to focus more on the revenue side of things. Perm gifted 5 Adam Does Movies memberships. Shot out of a cannon, Perm. I love it. Thank you. Beautiful. Jordan for $2. Thank you, Jordan. I'm so lost and over all the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, they're and there's another one on the way. I agree. Even Across the Spider-Verse, I was getting burnt out on, and I really enjoy Into the Spider-Verse. Jordan's back. He's on fire today for $5. Thoughts on clay and stop animation like Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, hard work and unique from today's film. My daughter Olivia, who started a channel maybe like a month and a half ago called Being Real with Olivia, Real Reel, definitely check that out. She actually reviewed both Christmas Vacation, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Coraline just recently on her channel, and she loved both of them. I think she liked, what did she like? She liked one even more. Oh, she liked forgetting the name of it. Corpse's Bride. She loved Corpse's Bride. I had never seen it. She begged us to watch, and I have to say, I wasn't like huge on it. I don't know why she loved it so much, but she's a big fan of that one. She liked it more than Nightmare Before Christmas. I think Coraline is her favorite of the three. Me personally, I really appreciate the style, the medium that they use. Stop motion is insanely difficult, and they're great looking films. I put Coraline on a much higher pedestal than Nightmare Before Christmas and now Corpse's Bride since I've seen it. I thought Coraline was a fantastic movie. The other two, I've never been huge on Nightmare Before Christmas. I know it's an unpopular take, but it's just never really done a whole lot for me. Aesthetically, it's fantastic, and the characters are cool. Just couldn't really get into it. I'm sorry. Where are we at? Michael for $1.99. Thank you, Michael. Have you ever been to AMC theaters? Any thoughts? Yeah, I've been to AMC. They're very overpriced, but they're typically also pretty nice. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but it did. AMC was pretty prominent in Minnesota, which is, again, where I'm going to be back at. And the new one they've been popping up there is Imagine Theaters, which are also really nice, high-end theaters, but you're paying a premium. It's kind of like this interesting... got myself in I have a dilemma right now, a predicament, you could say, because right now I have one shitty theater option, which is a Regal. It's run down. Bathrooms are disgusting. They have like 3 workers who are great. The workers are great. It's just a bad theater, but I only pay $24.99 a month to go to unlimited movies. So it's a super good deal. I don't think maybe AMC has that, but where I'm moving to in Minnesota, we don't have an AMC. They are kind of off the beaten path movie theaters, and I don't believe they offer any of those little accoutrements, the monthly membership. So I'm going to be paying quite a bit more, I think, in movie tickets next year, unless I can get some sort of deal with the theater, which I could try to work out, maybe, but we'll see. But yes, AMCs are solid. They're very nice. They're just expensive. And lastly, for this round, we have Shadow Humor for $5. Thank you, Shadow Humor. I'll speak for myself. Batman all day long, but I am tired of Spider-Man. I need a long break from Spider-Man. Well, you're not going to get much of a long one because I'm pretty sure Tom Holland's working on the 4th film. And then you'll have Across the Spider-Verse 2 after that. Spider-Man's going to keep coming, baby. That web slinger is so popular. The shitty Venom movies make money just by association. Despite the Venom movies make money. It's not because they're good. It's because people in mass are like, hey, I like Venom because he's a Spider-Man character. Maybe Spider-Man will be in this movie. Oh, no? Well, at least we have Venom. And that's all it takes. I think I got all of them. We're going to go back to our last story for the day. And it's a simple one. You know what? I didn't even look to see if I was live on Rumble. I probably should have checked. Let me look. I don't know if I set that up or not. It says I'm live. All right, hello, Rumble people as well. I'm all over the place. I'll go wherever people will watch me, is kind of how it works at this point. Okay, last topic. So get your super chats in for any other questions, and then I'm going to read those, and maybe I'll film something else tonight for Gladiator 2, or maybe I'll just do that after I edit these down. Okay, where are we at? Story number 3, movie trailers. That's right. We had a cornucopia of trailers released recently, if you didn't know. Sonic 3, the one with Shadow, the edgy, dark Sonic the Hedgehog, that came out. Keanu Reeves is voicing the character. I think it looks pretty good. You have 2 Jim Carreys in this movie. He's playing 2 different characters, Dr. Robotnik and Robotnik's brother. This is what we do. Whenever you get far enough into a movie franchise or a TV show, there's always a relative that comes out of nowhere that's never been mentioned before. It's like, oh yeah, Pepper, my brother Pepper, the crazy zany one who's been in and out of prison, is coming over for dinner. That's Pepper. Seriously, every sitcom eventually will do this. After 4 or 5 seasons, they're like, shit, we got to have something new happen. Okay, maybe Phoebe has like a twin sister and she's even more kooky than Phoebe is. And maybe on this show we'll do... You get my point. But I'm okay with this because Jim Carrey's great and he's a very dynamic, ranged actor. So seeing him play 2 different characters is always a fun time. He played 2 different characters in Me, Myself, and Irene. He had his regular version and then he had the much darker character. Me, Myself, and Irene, not given enough praise. It's Farley Brothers' film, probably their last good one. Although I did hear today they have a brand new Santa Claus Jack Black movie that's on Paramount. I'm tempted to watch it and review it. I'm just not sure anyone's going to care. And because it's on Paramount, I don't know if anybody's going to watch it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. Let me know if I should. Put a comment down if you want to see me review the new Jack Black Santa Claus movie where I think he's evil, an evil Claus, but he's not Krampus. I don't know. It's a thing. I try not to even watch the trailers. I just go in blind now to some of these movies, and it is an experience like no other. But Sonic looks good, action-packed. Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow. He's got a gun for some reason. I am old enough to know that edgy Shadow the Hedgehog had a motorcycle, and he brandished a gun. He had his own spin-off game, and he's cropped up from time to time. He's part of the roster. He's part of the regular crew. Now, if we start getting these other bullshit characters like Amy and Rouge and Big the Cat and Cream the Rabbit, I'm out. I can't do it. I can't do the crocodile with bling. Why do I know so many Sonic characters? This is just disturbing. I will say also in the trailer, there was a Chow, never pronounced that correctly. There's a Chow garden. They eat at a restaurant and there's Chow mascots. I also am old enough to remember having a Sega Dreamcast. I actually still have it down yonder. You can't see it in frame, but there's a Dreamcast over there with the control. You know what? Let me show you. Right here, we got a Dreamcast right here. This was the controller. Look at this chestnut. And what happened is, oh, you have like a little tiny Game Boy. You have a little cute little tiny Game Boy right in the controller. Isn't that fun? And with Sonic Adventure, which was a launch title on the Dreamcast. Listen, I can barely list the 50 states in America, but I can tell you some random shit about a Sega Dreamcast and a bunch of characters from Sonic the Hedgehog that I don't need to know ever. This game was like, you could do like mini games on here. In football, you could pick John Madden plays secretly so they wouldn't show up on the screen. So your douchebag friend didn't cheat and look every single time, Jerry. I know you're looking at me. How else would you know I was going to do that route? But the Chow Garden was in Sonic Adventure. You could go visit. Might have been in Sonic Adventure 2, now that I think about it. I think it was in 1. These little shits, these little Chows, you put in this garden. They run around. They eat fruit. They sleep. They exercise. And when you weren't playing the game, you could pop this out of the controller, put it in your pocket, save it for later, and you could walk your Chow. Walk your Chow. You could feed your Cheo. You like rub its belly, do things, interact with it. It was great. It was like a little pocket monster, a little Pokemon. This was pre-Pokemon Go, people. State-of-the-art stuff here. Then you pop it back in, and you're ready to play some more. Sega Dreamcast ahead of its time. It even had internet capabilities. Probably couldn't list more than 10 presidents, but I can tell you 20 characters in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Sonic 3, the trailer. It looks fun. Looks like a good time. I like the first two. Second one was a little long. A little long in the tooth, especially with the whole Bridezilla wedding stuff. Seemed completely unnecessary. But yeah, good movies. Way better than they probably should be. And this one looks fun. And they're never going to stop making these either. So I think they already announced a fourth is on the way. Amy Rose is going to be there before you know it with her trusty hammer. Why do I know this? Another trailer that dropped. On a sad note, we have 2 Disney movies that dropped trailers today or yesterday or whenever. I don't know. The time is a construct and I've lost all measure of it. Lilo and Stitch, live action. Kill me. This is a teaser. And to its credit, it's different. We get a Moana-esque shot of the ocean with the Walt Disney Castle, the Magic Kingdom. We do a pan back, we do a pull back, and in comes Stitch like a Godzilla. Or Hella means family. Destroys that thing. It was a fun little cute scene. I will say the design on Stitch looks pretty solid. It looks a lot better than some of those early renders we had years back where he looked like absolute nightmare fuel. I dug it. I dug the teaser. If the full movie keeps the vibe of this and it's not just a complete boring ass retread with the same music, the same exact storyboard shots, I'll be fine with it. Treat it as something special and new. Don't just recreate the same shit again. The animated one is still great. It holds up wonderfully. It has a unique art style. The characters are hilarious. The world is vibrant. You're not going to recreate that in this 3D space. So you need to do something new. And this teaser works because it's different. I hope the same goes for the movie. I will say, massively disappointed with the announcement. Upon seeing the teaser, I'm tepidly making my way into the interest category. All right, I'm not so jaded that I can't at least give them a chance, even though Disney has been nothing but ruining any goodwill they had with all of the remakes in the past. History has not been kind in the last few years with my relationship in Disney in the movie realm. Okay, the other one that doesn't look at all good to me is Snow White. Snow White looks terrible. And I don't care about Rachel Zegler. Was she right for the role? Well, no, because Snow White is freaking white as shit, and that's like her characteristic. Skin as white as snow. And I know they changed the character's backstory to make up for the fact that now Snow White looks great. She's got a good tan. She'll probably get skin cancer before you know it, because the old animated Snow White, she's applying that shit. She's staying out of the sun's harmful rays. She's singing with animals under the cover of the trees. This one's out in the open, belting for all to see. Rachel Zegler said a lot of stupid crap in interviews that's taken out of context. But even if it's not half the time, she still sounds dumb because she's young, impressionable. She's going to make mistakes. I get it. I was young and dumb once, and now I'm just dumb and not that young. So I understand, Rachel. You just get yours, girl, or something. I don't care. Bad casting, I think, personally, because what we're doing here is we're probably going to remake the same stupid movie again that we've all seen, been on the freaking ride at Disney World. You got the CG dwarves in this one. They look like trash from the teaser. It just did nothing. It's not even a teaser. I think it's a full second trailer or something. Nothing here stood out to me as exciting. And I'm having a really hard time. Stretching my brain around the fact that the evil queen is Smoke Show Gal Gadot, who's jealous of Zegler, who's got this terrible haircut going on. I know it's supposed to be like the animated one. It's not 1-to-1. It's not working. But you're telling me that the queen is jealous? This Smoke Show statuesque model is looking in the mirror and going, oh, what am I doing here? I got to look like this person and not myself. She's Wonder Woman. You don't cast Wonder Woman to get jealous of the girl from, I don't even know, the Hunger Games prequel. Are you out of your mind? I know she did the Steven Spielberg musical remake. I forgot the name of it, and I don't care to look. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We have Sonic 3, which looks fun, disposable, fine. It's got Jim Carrey. I'm there. We have Lilo and Stitch, live action abomination that somewhat looks interesting based on a teaser. Just don't go full bore nostalgia. They will, but I'm just hoping they don't. And then we have Snow White, which looks snow wrong. Just doesn't look good. Sorry. Maybe it doesn't help that I was never really a big fan of Snow White to begin with, the animated one, so I don't really have any nostalgic attachment to it. And I guess to its credit, maybe that's good. In this instance, much like Jungle Book, where I didn't have much attachment to that cartoon, maybe I can see this one and have a better time because they will take things slightly in a different direction. I mean, they've said that many times in interviews. This isn't going to be like that piece of crap animated classic. We're not doing some boy likes girl boring crap. Snow White this time around is gay or something. She's into fruit in a sexual way. We're not doing any of this boring old school man woman crap. We're going to do something wild. This is a Snow White for the new gen. Like, is that all you have? How about this is a movie that's going to capture the heart and spirit of the original, but tell a new, beautiful tale. They could do that without like knocking any sort of gender or anything, which again has to do with the age. Rachel's, put her foot in her mouth a couple times, but we all have. All right, those are my thoughts on the trailers. Not like really winning me over. I'll say that, but yeah, I'm hoping for some new stuff from Disney at some point. Again, that would be nice. I'd like to hear from you, though. Let me know what trailer of these three, of this trio, are you most excited for, if any at all? I could imagine some might not be thrilled with any of the releases coming out, but let me know in the comments. Please think of subscribing, hitting the notification bell so these show up in your feed, liking the video, and maybe think about becoming a patron at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Lots of offerings over there, exclusive videos every single month with different tier options starting at just $1. It helps keep the lights on. This is a one-man band. I put a bunch of work in and would appreciate a little bit of support. So it sounded like I was mad. Hey, I put a lot of work in. I would appreciate just a little bit of support back if that's not too much trouble for you. Thanks. I didn't mean it like that. But also I did. All right, hopefully I see you next time. Take care. And that's it, folks. That's it for the videos. Are we anti-woke Hollywood here? No, we're not anti-woke Hollywood here. Because I don't even know what that means. To some people, anti-woke is like, oh, there's a black person in this movie. It's woke. It's woke. It's such a loose term at this point. How about it's just when I see some bullshit, I call it out. When I see something that is eye rolling, I call it out. And it's not just an overall corporate agenda to turn everyone into a trans person. That's silly and nonsensical. There's lots of reasons why studios make the decisions they do. Spoiler, they always have to do with funding. They always have to do with revenue and the bottom dollar. And there are different groups, there's different companies out there that will fund your project to a certain amount of dollars if you have some inclusionary characters in. And so that's all it's going to take for a company to go, oh, we could use another, $3 million. What do we have to do? What box do we have to check? And we get a check for that. Check this. We get some money for that. That's all it is. It's sad, but that's what it is. All right, we got Troy McClure. Troy the Cream McClure for $5. Thank you, Troy. If the quote, every time a grown man sharts, a demon earns its horns, it's for you. You may just enjoy that Jack Black movie. Not worth your time, in his opinion. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Yikes. Jordan for $5. I think Kristen, I was going to say Kirsten Dunst. I think Kristen Stewart's Snow White was trying to set the tone for a more gorish telling of the story. I honestly forgot about those. The Snow White in the Huntsman series. Yeah, there was two of them, I believe. And the witch in that was also a freaking smoke show. It wasn't Charlize Theron the witch? I think she was. I don't remember Snow White and the Huntsman being terrible. The first one, I didn't even bother with the second one. Kristen Stewart's a tough pill to swallow, though. I've only seen her in maybe 2 or 3 movies where I was like, she was solid in this. Panic Room being one of them, where she's probably 15 at the time. And then that underwater one, it might have actually been called Underwater. I don't know. But that was all right, too. I enjoyed that one for what it was. I like those little bottle episode type movies, a survival film. Troy the Cream is back for $10, baby. I didn't care about race swaps, but sometimes race is an integral part of the character. Studio does... Oh, wait, here we go. Studio does Snow... Oh, he's doing like a narration. Studio, does Snow White have to be so white? Does Black Panther have to be that, let's say, urban to be safe? Yeah, it's hard to criticize some of these topics because then you're labeled, part of the anti-woke crowd, or you are woke, or it's so boring. I just can't get over how incredibly boring it is. And to some people, it's like a matter of life and death. They're erasing men. Men are ceasing to exist. And yet every prominent person I see and hear all over social media is a dude. And they're typically a white dude. I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan he's the #1 podcaster. Like, the whitest dude on planet Earth is the most prominent voice for America. Who is a UFC fighter and the host of Fear Factor. That's our go-to guy. Yeah, we're gonna be okay, dudes. Well, us white guys are gonna be all right. And that goes across the board. It's like every prominent figure is still that way. So it's just silly. But then yes, you do have Disney and these studios making the stupidest fucking decisions because they're trying to be like more inclusive, but they also can't tell new stories because again, like my previous conversation with the sequels being the top 10 movies of the year, they can't be that original or they risk bombing at the box office. So it's like, ooh, we really want to be more diverse, but we have Snow White on the docket. We got like a Tangled live action, which I'm sure they're thinking about doing. We got this, and they're all like white bitches. We're going to have to do something about that because we need a little bit more diversity in these films. And so it comes at the cost of, I guess, just being true to the original. And I've said this a million times. I don't feel like I need to say it, but I will, just because there's bound to be 1 or 2 new people that are like, what the hell does that mean? The Little Mermaid can be black. Well, of course she can. But when you remake the same stupid movie and you make all the other characters look pretty much exactly like their counterpart from the animated, and then you go out of your way to make Ariel completely different looking, yeah, it's going to make people go, why? What? This is confusing me. This is the Ariel from the cartoon? Oh no, she's like a different interpretation, but everything else is the same, the music and everything. It's just stupid. And it just causes people to have to label each other and throw stones. And it's not that deep, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not that deep. It's just, the character doesn't look anything like she did before. Weird, but okay, let's see if the story's any better. Oh, no, that's exactly the same. Well, then I guess what was the point of any of this? All right, I think that's maybe where I will end it. See if I missed any more. I'll stick around for like 2 more minutes. I'll take a drink of water. If you have any more soups you want to throw at me, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm going to call it. We went for an hour and 9 minutes. I should stop my recordings here before I run out of space. Comment, file, save, live stream, recording, November 25th. Just really high level stuff going on over here. We got one more super chat in from Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. I'd love Halle Berry on a Storm origin film. Halle Berry on an origin film, though? Halle Berry. I'm sorry, Halle Berry. Okay, there's Haley Bailey and Halle Berry. It's very confusing. Halle Berry is unfortunately no spring chicken. So it would have to be not an origin story, but maybe like an old man Logan, an old man Storm, an old woman Storm, I suppose. Halle Berry is Halle Berry age. I mean, she still looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, but she is 58. So it's a little late for her to do an origin story on Storm. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe, yeah, you did say origin. I mean, it could be just a Storm movie with Halle Berry. I'd be fine with that. I'd love to see her in that role again. I never thought she was utilized that well until, I mean, she looked cool in Days of Future Past. She still had an incredibly small role in that one. They give her the most to do in 3, where she had that spunky new hairdo. But still, it just didn't feel... she wasn't that great of a character. I'm not going to lie to you. She had the thick African accent she was going for, like the character from the cartoon. And then she just got rid of that entirely in the second movie. And it was kind of like Wanda in the Avengers Age of Ultron, had that thick accent that she just loses in the next movies. I like Halle Berry, though. All right, I'm going to end it there. Let's close up shop. Beep, beep. Thank you guys very much for watching. It is Monday. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tomorrow night. Tuesday night's usually when I go live. Might pepper another one out there for fun. Maybe we do a Q&A. Maybe I get Tony or some of the other guys in the mix. See if I can wrangle up a few people. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll play it by ear. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks for the super chats and supporting the channel. Definitely check out Patreon. I know I was saying it for the videos, but check it out if you can. Couple dollars a month, it'll get you access to stuff. It's a good time. All right, take care. I'm closing her down.